Hello everyone, we're so back. Another Andromeda 6. So many things happening. People who are not dead, who were dead, are not dead. Hello? Okay. Yeah, so we saw Narissa, who we all thought was dead. She's not. Liar. Fibber. This room is really nice, by the way. Why would I want a bed like that? Because I would. I would want that bed. Anyways, but yeah, so we went to, I think we're on Talaran? We're officially on Talaran. Narissa's here. She's alive. We're with our man. That's really all I remember. That's all I remember, and that's all that matters anyways. Okay, so let's lock in. The late morning sun climbs high in the sky as I gaze out of the enormous window of the bedroom I've been given to use while we're here on Talaran. This is the bedroom? Bruh, why I got the bed and I got the whole, like, this crazy. If you hear clicking and clacking, it's my cat. She's literally dragging her string toy around the room, slamming the stick on everything she can find. Everything here is clean and fresh. The bed, the floors, even the air itself. The room has clearly been designed with comfort in mind, with plenty of cushions and throw blankets, plush slippers, and lush plants throughout. Feel connected to the planet. That's fun. Yeah, we can say that because we have the Talaran vibes. I'm enjoying the space. Let's say I feel connected to the planet. I feel connected to this place in a way, though I've never been to this planet before now. When I was young, my mother would tell me about Talaran and the family she left behind after she married my father and moved to Goldus. Though the two of us drifted apart as I grew older, I can feel a part of her here. My room is situated high in the aisle spire, not far from the top, which I've been told hosts an incredible rooftop garden. Oh, so this is like trees and shit. From the window I can see across the vast expanse of the planet. Green fields and blue waters, both dazzling beneath the sunlight. Glints of silver can be seen in the distance, other spires scattered across the surface, housing a majority of the planet's population. I wonder if I have other family out there somewhere. Ones that were connected to my mother. Maybe they're in the next spire over. Maybe they're in the same one I'm in right now. I'll find out one day. I'll look for them and try to connect. But for now, I have too much on my plate. Adding a family reunion would only make things more difficult. A notification goes off on my holopad, and when I project the screen, I see a new message pop up from the group chat Ayame has created to keep the crew in touch while we're here. Can you believe these... Wait, I gave her an accent, didn't I? What was her accent again? You'd think I would remember it by now. I don't even know what video we're on, but you'd think I remember by now. Can you believe these rooms? They're ginormous! Too fancy for my liking. Fancy pantsy, wow. If it's too much for you, Damon, I'm sure we can find a nice cardboard box for you to sleep in. Get fucked. Sounds just like home. I think the rooms are really nice, but does anyone know what button the button on the side of the bed is for? Pleasure mode is crazy. Really? Stop teasing him, Bash. It turns on the light at the base of the bed. I don't think mine is working. Thanks anyway, Kay. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm generous or whatever. With a small laugh, I put my holopad away and smiled to myself. It must be nice for the crew to feel like they're able to relax for the first time in a long while. Somewhere that they can feel safe. I know it's nice for me. Safe. At the thought of that word, my mind drifts to Narissa. We're gonna take back our home together. I can hardly believe it. But then another thought hits me. Though I was born on Goldus and grew up through the corridors of the palace in Siltavi, it never really felt like home. Maybe things are different with Narissa in charge. I feel more at home with the crew. The one thing I know for sure is I need to talk to my sister. I'm gonna save. Just in case that changes something. You know, I'm doing all the saving, but I'm honestly the first run-through that I do is gonna be the only run-through I do. That's my truth. I'm doing all this saving, which is really dumb. Because it's the, if like, I'm not going back to change it. I did it a lot in the beginning, but now I'm like trying to stick to my answers a little more. I'd say I feel more at home with the crew. I feel like that's just true. This past month with the crew, I felt more at home than I have in my entire life. I finally feel seen. I have a voice and a place on the ship. I belong. Even if my role as navigator started as a ruse, I can't deny that it feels good to be a part of the ecosystem that's the Andromeda Six crew now. And I'm not so sure I'm willing to give that up. An alert goes through the room and pulls me from my thoughts, and after pushing myself to my feet, I head over to check who's at the door. Hopefully it's my husband. If I'm lucky, it's my husband. If I'm unlucky, I'll cry. There's a panel on the inside of the room that shows who my guest is before I even open the door. With a smile, I hit the button and unlock it to greet him. Oh yeah, it's my boyfriend. What the fuck? Oh my god. Hey, Kyle. Damn, Kyle's kind of fine. What? Who said that? Guys, be polite. Wasn't Kyle like an android? The face is fire on that. Sorry, I have to like tilt my head up because the screen's kind of crazy right now. Oh my god, that's too far. Jesus Christ. Good morning, Your Highness. Thanks, dog. What's up? The bot stands in the doorway, unmovable, and if I didn't know him so well, I'd say it was a little intimidating. Come on, Kay. You know you can call me Kay. Okay, twin. Alright then. Good morning, Kay. Thanks, dog. I smile at Kyle, glad to see him. We've had the chance to briefly reunite yesterday after we finished speaking with Nerissa, and I was glad to find him unharmed after the ordeal at the palace. On top of that, he'd saved my sister and brought her here. I couldn't be more grateful. Good morning to you. What brings you here? I'm here to take you to Nerissa. Why didn't she come here herself? She had a few things to wrap up. I offered. I raised an eyebrow at him. It's no secret that there's been tension between my sister and me since we reunited. It has me wondering if she sent Kay to fetch me to avoid doing it herself. What's this tension? Do we have tension? I don't remember that. Shaking the thought from my mind, I glance over at the bionic plates on Kyle's body and remember something else. My last conversation with Bash worried me, and I wonder if the bot in front of me might have any advice on the situation. Music's going crazy. Actually, I'm glad you're here. I was hoping I could talk to you about one of my friends, if we have time. Of course. I make way for Kay to enter the room behind me, the two of us taking a seat in the circular seating area across from each other. Like this? I feel like that's kind of far, don't you think? That's like really far apart, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's like this chair. Like, it's like really far apart. Well, I'll just get straight into it. His name is Bash. I started the discussion explaining my fears to Kay, who listens without interruption. It can be a little unnerving speaking to a being with no human reactions, gaining no sense of thoughts and emotions that may be going through his head, but I manage it well enough. I suppose after knowing Kay since I was a child, I'm used to it. To sum it all up, I'm really worried about him. Bash says he wants to replace all the parts of himself with bionics, but I can't help but feeling like this decision is coming from the wrong place. Like he thinks he has no other choice but to reconstruct himself entirely, and he's afraid of what happens if he doesn't. And when I finish speaking, Kay says nothing for a long moment. Eventually, he sits forward and leans his elbows against his legs, looking at me through strange, robotic eyes. On the inside, my software mimics the emotions of a human, but I'm reminded every day that I'll never truly be one of them. I can't feel the heat of the sun, or the cool sting of the wind, or the touch of another's hand. Sometimes I pretend I do. Sometimes I even try to convince myself that it's true, but I know it's not. He goes quiet for a few moments, while we sit, but somehow I know he hasn't finished speaking. I stay silent, my stomach dropping at the admission. To be perfectly honest, I had no idea that Kay felt this way. I'm feeling a little guilty that I've never picked up on it before. I mean, I was kind of a child, you know? If I had the chance to feel all that, I'd give anything for it. Your friend doesn't know what he's giving up. I let out a breath of relief, even as my heart sinks for the bot. Kyle has always been a reasonable source of advice, and to know that he feels the same way I do about this matter weighs a lift off me. Weighs a lift off me. Lifts a weight off me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good at reading. Yeah, I'm a genius. Do you think that maybe you could talk to him, or could we do it together? I think it would do him good to hear from your point of view. I'd be happy to. Leaving the room with Kay, I find myself feeling a little better about the situation with Bash. I'm still worried about that he's going to do something drastic. In fact, he already could have. But having an outside perspective from someone who intimately knows the other side of the coin could be just what Bash needs. Forgive me if I'm crossing a line, but is there no way to give you the sensations that you're missing? Like a technology that could do it? Kay shifts his head towards me slightly. VTBs aren't built for such things. We're built for war. To our creators, it was better to not feel anything at all. The technology might be created, but I have nowhere for it to go. The inventor who set me free might have found a way. In fact, I'm sure he would have. He pauses for a long moment, his stride sure and unwavering. But he's long gone now. I'm sorry, Kay. Oh, that's me. Sorry, Kay. Twin! He's literally twin. Don't be. I can't complain about the life I live, or the people in it. I follow his line of sight to the gazebo in the distance, spotting the dark hair of my sister as she looks out across the water, her back turned to us. With Nursa in sight, I stop suddenly, hesitant to go any further. Kay takes a few steps before he realizes I'm no longer beside him, and turns back to me patiently, waiting for me to make a move. You knew the whole time about what she was planning? Yes, I helped her plan it. And you didn't think to tell me? I encouraged Nursa to involve you, but she wouldn't have it. Understand, Kay, that it wasn't because she didn't trust you, it was because she was afraid that something would happen if you knew. And maybe more afraid of what you would think of her. I mean, I could have helped her. Oh, shit! Anyways, I could have helped her. She should have known that I would have had her back, that I could have helped her. I would have done whatever she asked of me. I know, and I know she does too. He looks towards the gazebo, his voice quieter when he speaks again. I think that's what terrified her, that you'd get hurt in the process. What Kay is saying makes sense in a way, but somehow I'm not sure I can find it in myself to forgive that deception so easily. I can tell the bot senses this by the way he places a heavy metallic hand on my shoulder, as though he would comfort me if he could. I know she doesn't show it, but Nursa is easily overwhelmed by her emotions. Her love for you blinds her, and makes her want to protect you, even when you don't need it. I think she saw in you the faces of all of Seltoa, projecting her thoughts and fears for them onto you. I glance at the figure of my sister in the distance, pacing between the vine-covered gazebo that looks out across the artificial lake. That's not good enough. Kay looks at me again, and I get the impression that he's smiling, despite the plates on his face never shifting. Talk to her. Tell her how you feel. It'll make you feel better in the end. He leaves me with that, walking away while I glance towards the gazebo again, readying myself for the conversation I'm about to have with the only family I have left. Sucking in a breath, I head over and step into the shade, watching as Nursa turns at the sound of me approaching. Hey girl, what's up? I didn't realize we were mad at her. I think I just forgot. I think I literally just blocked it out. I think if it's not about Damon, I just kind of zone out. She smiles at me softly, but when I don't return the gesture, it slowly fades. You're upset with me, I can tell. I guess so. I sigh out loud. She always had a way of knowing what I'm feeling, and there's no use in hiding it from her now. I just don't understand why you didn't tell me what was going on. I wanted to, believe me. There were many times that I almost let it slip, but I couldn't. I couldn't let you get involved, knowing how much danger it would put you in. I know you wanted to keep me safe. I understand your reasoning. You wanted to keep me safe. But I'm not as fragile as you think. Nursa smiles at me warmly, and I can't shake the feeling that she's still looking at me as the child she's always known. I know that now. It takes only a second before she sighs softly and shakes her head. Our father needs to be removed from the throne, and I was willing to do it peacefully. With the help of Tajin and the Talari, we would have succeeded. I look up at the sound of my mother's name. It's the second time Nursa has mentioned having her help with the Talari, which I suppose is what led us all here. I would never have incited the bloodbath that just Novak caused. When I think of our family, fighting for their lives, fighting for each other, our father was a poor excuse for a king, but She stops and closes her eyes, stealing something inside her before it shatters like glass. You loved him. Yes, in my own way. I tried to protect him in the end, but it wasn't enough. Her eyes go dark, her mind drifting somewhere far from here. I reach out and place a hand on her arm, and she returns to me with a grateful smile. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get stuck in my memories of that night. I understand. It must have been awful. I'm sorry I left without saying anything. I'm not. If you hadn't left, I doubt the both of us would be here together today. I can't tell you how thankful I am for that. Taking one of my hands, she squeezes my fingers tight. I have to admit that I'm glad she's here despite everything. I can tell that she regrets how things have played out, but she didn't involve me in her plans. She didn't involve me in her plans. I can only hope that things will be different going forward. Suddenly, I remember the gift she had given me not long before we separated. I reached into my pocket for the small trinket. I have something to show you. Oh, my music box. I hand the box over and she opens the lid with a smile. A soft tune spills out of it, the holographic ballerina dancing in the middle of a small sphere. It got broken that night I left the palace, but Damon had it fixed for me. My face warms a little when I say his name out loud. I hope she doesn't notice. That was a kind gesture. She holds the music box up to her face, studying its intricacies closely. I've never shown you, but the music box has a secret. Look. Nursa turns the sphere over and presses 2 buttons on the side that pop open a hidden compartment on the bottom. She pulls out a ring, holding it in her palm for me to inspect. It's a golden signet ring, engraved with the Pegasi crest. Hey, fire! She holds it out to me with an expectant look on her face. Here, try it on. Sure. I take the ring from her and test it out on a couple different fingers until I find one that fits. A perfect fit. Now everyone will know who you are and where you came from. That we're family. Thank you. I guess I could have given it to her. I didn't really see the point, though. I hold up my hand to admire the ring on my finger. I don't feel like a Pegasi back on Goldis, but I didn't feel like one, but I certainly feel like one now. Hell yeah. You've changed so much, little one. It's nice to see, but also a little surprising. It seems like the crew you've fallen in with have had an effect on you. I smile at the thought of them, the friendships I've made, the people I've grown close to. Each of the crew has made an impact on me, in one way or another. They have. Being with them has given me a chance to explore who I am, away from the confines of a royal life. I'm not sure I would have ever figured out who I truly am back on Goldis. Nerissa nods. I get the impression that she wants to say more, but she holds herself back. For whatever reason, I can't quite tell. I look forward to getting to know them better. And this new you, too. She sighs as her gaze breaks away, looking out over the lake. I've been thinking a lot about the past, Kay. How I don't want to make the same mistakes again. I say nothing, but I feel the weight of her words. Even though Vex has no choice in his deception of us, I trusted him too much. Perhaps I should be more careful in the future. Later we'll be meeting to discuss what to do next. We're ready to make a move against Zovac. We only have to decide how to do it. I want you to be there. I want you to have a say. What about the crew? Yes, them too. With the crew involved, we'll have representatives from every planet. The decision belongs to all of us. She stops for a moment, looking me over with a quiet smile as she reaches to take my hand. Kay, when I take back the throne, you'll be my heir. Things will be different, I promise you that. I don't want that. I would like to travel the world with my husband. I don't want to be royalty, thanks. I was gonna do it if you were dead, but I don't want to do it anymore. What if I don't want that? What if I don't want to be your heir? Nursa drops my hand as she assesses me. I know that wasn't the answer she expected to hear. I've seen so much of the system during my time on A6. I started learning about how people live and what they want for themselves. Nursa, you don't have to take the throne. We could let the planets govern themselves. And risk a civil war among the system. No, it's better this way. Better for all of us. But she waves her hand to cut me off, and I can see that she has convinced herself. But as for me, I'm not so sure that I want to be part of this new structure. I can only hope that there's something more for me out there. With nothing more to say, I decide it's best to change the subject. Have you spoken to Vex? She hesitates before she answers, as though she's not sure she wants to talk about it at all. No, not yet. He's been taken to the hospital. They're trying to reverse whatever the doctor of Zovac's done to him. Do you think they'll be able to help him? I'd be surprised if they couldn't. She smiles a little, and I can tell she's trying to be encouraging, despite all her personal feelings on the matter. Do you think you'll ever truly forgive him? Nerissa purses her lips in thought. her violet eyes narrowing at the memories of the past. Maybe. I don't know. I suppose I'll have to find a way. He truly believed that he killed you. It was tearing him apart. She swallows hard as she looks away, and I can see she's torn. Her trust wasn't only broken, but ripped to shreds and thrown back in her face. I know well enough that it's not an easy thing to forgive. I'd better head off before it gets late, but I'll see you at the meeting later. I can tell that she's excusing herself before having to discuss this decision any longer. The situation. Hello? And I suppose I can't blame her. Just because I was able to forgive Vex doesn't mean I should expect her to do the same. We did that? I don't remember doing that. Like, I think I said... I don't remember what I said. It doesn't matter. Gone forever. I must have done it. I just don't remember. Yeah, I think it's complicated. Now that you're here, we have everything we need to set our plan in motion. Bro is gonna make me be the heir. Everything will be alright. You'll see. I don't like that you said that. She smiles at me and we say goodbye. Though Nerissa leaves, I linger beneath the gazebo a little longer. We have everything we need now to set our plans in motion. I have to admit it feels good to be included, and I'm looking forward to what this meeting might bring. Bro, not me. It's making me nervous. When people preemptively say stuff like that, it makes me nervy because I'm like, there ain't no way. I'm like, there's no way that this is going to turn out okay. Later that day, I head towards the hangar that serves as a rebel camp, and the meeting that awaits us all. Upon entering, I find that I am the last to arrive, and I admit that I may have been distracted by the plants and natural growth that sprawl throughout the spire on my way down here. The Isle Spire, the planet itself, is beautiful, and I'm looking forward to having more time to explore the place, but for now, that will have to wait. The crew are already here, along with Eldred, Nerissa, and Kay. The hangar itself is quieter than usual, though I notice a few people filling in the background, making themselves scarce. Flitting? Flitting. Okay. Oppo towers over the group from the back, where they stand with Elisa and Zane, and I notice the other person that I've never seen before. All eyes are on me as I take a spot with the crew. Nerissa gives me a small smile, though I get the feeling she may have expected me to stand by her side instead. Yeah, okay, well, cry me a river, bitch. Hey, nerd! Why is everyone talking to me? I'm scared. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. The vibes are bad. For some reason. I don't know why. It's giving me icky vibes. Maybe I'm just crazy. Crazy. I'm crazy. Welcome, Kay. Hey. Sorry, am I late? Not at all. You're right on time. I feel like you guys are lying to me. I don't like it here. The vibes are bad. Eldridge smiles at me kindly before he turns to address the group. I expect you all know why we've called this meeting. Jez Novak sits on the throne of Goldus, posing as the savior of our system, though in reality is much darker. With a small wave of his hand, Eldridge steps back and Nerissa takes the floor. Zovak uses fear and manipulation to control its followers, and his reach is spreading. Every day, people are fighting for their freedom, losing and dying to his Macari soldiers. Lord help. With Eldred's help, Kay and I brought people here who are willing to help us make a final stand against Zovak and the Macari. Oh, who are you? You're so cutie! Of course, I did nothing. Oh, right. I suppose you helped a little. Nerissa smiles at the stranger I noticed earlier, the two of them seeming familiar with each other. For those who don't know, this is Kadar Sudras Slay. Sorry if that was said awful and terrible. It probably was. I apologize. I'm ignorant and stupid. They've been a leader amongst the Catalfans for some time now. With his help, we brought many of them here. I look over at Kadar curiously, noting the bow slung over their shoulder and the quiver of the arrows on his back. Even on Talaran, a place that has seen nothing but peace, he seems ready to fight. My people are looking forward... Jesus, my microphone. My people are looking to find a new home and begin a new life. They'll do what they have to stop Zovak and make this dream a reality. I glance at Aya, wondering what she makes of this, and I see the way she lights up at Kadar's words. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that someone has a crush. Well, pretty cute. While that's all so inspiring, aren't you forgetting about something, Majesty? Elisa steps forward, making her face a mask of indifference. God, Gilbay. What good does it do to us to help you rip Zovak from the throne if it means we go back to suffering under the rule of yet another incapable Pegasi? I note the subtle clench of Nerissa's jaw, but she brushes it off before addressing Elisa's claim. It wouldn't be like before. I give you my word. My goal is to correct the wrongs of my father, to find a way for the system to live in peace. Pretty words from a pretty mouth. Sounds like we're going to get the short end of a stick in this situation, don't you think, Lisa? For once, I think you're right. Hey. Elisa ignores Zane's protest, and I watch with a growing dread as she squares up against my sister. I'll tell you what. Melissa, is it? Nerissa. Whatever. Zane and I will help your little rebellion if you agree to sever Cursa from the crown once we've given Zovak the boot. We want our independence, and one way or another we're gonna get it. No, absolutely not. Nurse's expression turns as hard as thunder, her resolve unwavering. If left to its own devices, Cursa would rip itself to shreds, and no doubt take the rest of the system down with it. Says you. I said no. The group around me are silent as stone, collectively holding their breath as we watch the two women stare each other down. All right, Miss Double Standards, how about telling the group how much it'll cost you to recruit the help of Talaran when you were dying and desperate? Independence. Isn't that right, Eldridge? Eldridge remained silent, his expression giving nothing away. That's different. Talaran will enter into a trusted partnership with the Crown. How can I expect Cursa to do the same? Elisa laughs, but there's no missing the fact that she's mocking my sister. I need this monitor to be closer. These words are looking a little goofy, because I'm blind. And I hear you. Why aren't I wearing my glasses? I don't know where they are. If that's the case, perhaps we'll take our clans elsewhere. Perhaps you should. That's a lot of soldiers to be missing out on, love. Maybe have a think about reconsidering our generous offer. Nursa looks to be on the verge of having Kay rip both of the Curson's heads off, and the other two seem hardly any happier. Having seen both sides of the story for myself, I feel like I should step in. I know where I agree, and I agree with Elisa. My throat seems to squeeze together as I step forward and all eyes turn on me. My hands start to sweat at my sides. I agree with Elisa. I've seen Cursa and how the people are suffering. They should be given a chance to take control of their own lives, to speak for themselves, so they can rally another terrorist group and try to take the entire system? No, I don't think so. What makes you think we want your squeaky clean golden city? All we want is to make our own decisions. You're willing to give the Talaran their independence, but not Cursa? Or any other planet for that matter? How is that fair? It's called monarchy. It's how we've lived for the past 1,000 years. Things can change. Things should change. Nerissa sighs, and I can tell that she doesn't want to argue with me, especially in front of others, but I'm not about to give her a choice. I understand your passion, Kay, but you're young. The world doesn't always work the way we want it to. Taking a step back, I recoil her words. Nerissa invited me to this meeting to have a say in what happens next, but it seems like she's not even willing to listen to any of us. I have to admit that the thought of that stings. I thought we were closer than that. With all due respect, it's not fair for you to judge Kay like that. They've been through more than you know. Cauldron appears beside me. Let's go! Let's go, Cauldron! Yeah, that's like my dad or something. His formidable presence bolstering my confidence. If I wanted your opinion on the matter, Captain, I would have asked for it. You wanted my opinion, and whether you like it or not, this is it. Thankfully, my voice keeps steady as I speak, but the hurt is still there. We are thankful for it, Kay, but it seems to be getting nowhere. I trust the parties involved can come to some sort of arrangement, in private perhaps. I doubt that. Eldridge gives us all a severe look, the leader in him taking charge of the situation. I would remind you, Nerissa, that we need all the help we can get. Elisa and Zane nod in agreement, with Nerissa reluctantly following suit. Right, let's go down to the real plan, shall we? We've got nothing to fight about if we can't even get past the usurper first. Kadar takes the center stage with the others, while the others retreat quietly to simmer in the background. Our army is big, but Zovax is bigger. The best way to approach us would be with smaller tactical attacks. Take out the key players one by one, then, when their armor is cracking, cut off the head of the snake. That's a metaphor, okay? Analogy? If our army is smaller than Novak's, then what about recruiting from the rest of the system? There are others who might want to help us. Bash speaks up for the first time, and I'm able to get a good look at him, noting that nothing has changed since the last time we spoke. We can't risk Novak finding out our plans. I called him Novak, sorry, King. Well, actually, fuck you. I'm gonna call you Novak. Nerd, loser, you're Novak now, idiot. Oh my god. There are spies all over, people who want to report back to him. Oh, well, sure. Zovac already knows we're here. He knows we're planning to move against him. Like Eldred said, the more support we have, the better. Kadar thinks it over for a moment, and even I have to admit that Bash's suggestion makes sense. It could serve as a diversion. He'll be focused on the bulk of our army rather than our tactical units. Hey, that's kind of smart. You're right, I can see that working. Oppo has contacts all across Terrarium. They can get in touch with them to put the word out. You want Oppo to help? I don't remember how I did Oppo's voice. Sorry, Oppo. Sorry, Oppo, I don't remember how to do that. That's why you're here, isn't it? Oppo gulps, and while I'm quite fond of Arknos, I find it hard to believe that fighting in a rebel army is their idea of a good time. Technically, Oppo is here because Miss Elisa forced them on the ship and brought them here. Elisa? Elisa? I don't remember. I think I've been calling her Elisa the whole time anyway, so it's over. I'll help you out, Oppo. How about we get some of the old gang back together, huh? Oppo still seems reluctant, but they nod at the offer to help nonetheless. Cauldron, Ayame, do you think you could sway any members of the Guard to our side? I'm not sure. The Guard was one of the first institutions to be corrupted by Zovac. Many soldiers have been replaced with his spies. We can at least try, Cal. We had friends in the Guard, even if not all of them were real. They might be willing to help. In fact, I can name a few who might jump at the chance. I suppose it's worth a shot. Though Cauldron seems a little less than optimistic, Aya looks pleased to have assigned the task. I have to admit that I am too. It'll keep her busy, and with any luck, it might also boost her confidence. Yeah, because I forgot everyone's like high-key depresso espresso right now. Kadar has the loyalty of many Catalfans. We'll have many of them on our side. I would hope so, but don't forget that Zovac himself is part Catalfan. Really? He'll try to use that to his advantage. Wait, Zovac is Catalfan? Well, that's my first time hearing that. Only partly, but it might be enough to sway a few Catalfans to his side. He hasn't managed to use his Talari roots to his advantage. Let's hope for our sake so the Catalfans are able to see right through him. I throw a look at Nerissa. Talari roots? Before I can ask her anything, the conversation continues. We need to act quickly. Once we have our people together, we'll have to decide on the next steps. Next to Zovac himself, Ren is the most important target. Oh, I remember them. Yeah. They have the loyalty of its soldiers. With Ren out of the way, their allegiance will falter. How can you be so sure? Oh, you're here? Hey! It's true. I've seen it myself. I'm trying to give him that yeah. Vex me. There's too many man voices in one go. It's too many man voices. My man voice is already terrible. It's already an awful man voice because I don't have a low register at all. Bruh, let me live. Let me live. Vex speaks up, and I have to admit that I'm surprised to see him here. Last I heard, he was being taken care of by the Talari at the hospital. Zovak's soldiers are loyal, but they'll be reluctant to take orders from anyone but Ren. Damn, sorry, that was my voice. Vex worked with Ren personally. He'll be a valuable source of information if you're planning to take them out. T. My hot man. Damon also knows the inner workings of the Macquarie, don't you, Reznord? Not enough to be any help. Any information helps. Jesus. Vex and Damon, was it? If you'll share what you know, I'm sure we can put it to good use. Me checking the time. The two men nod before melting back into the group again. There's a lot of things happening in front of my eyes, and I feel like I'm not tracking anything. After Ren, we go for the doctor. He controls the Orionite soldiers. Without him, they'll be in disarray, easier to pick off. I wouldn't be so sure about that. June speaks hesitantly, but long enough for us to all hear. What do you know about them? My parents created them. They created me. Kadar pauses, his expression softening as the realization overcomes him. Would you help us put together a plan to take them out? I'll do what I can to help, provided Riona assists me. There's a lot going on right now. She has studied my condition intimately. Her help would be invaluable. Kadar nods and I glance around for Riona, finding her once again hidden in the back. It's clear by her expression that this is the last place she wants to be. I suppose I can't blame her for that. I make a note to check in with her after the meeting. When it comes to it, my crew can take care of Ren. Just tell us where to find them. It won't be easy. Ren is surrounded by soldiers at all times. You'll have to go through a few more Macquarie to get to them. Jesus. This is so... Oh, my brain hurts. I feel the EP locking in for me being like, what? You know what? It's also probably because I woke up really early for my shift this morning. Whatever. I'm sitting here like, huh? What are you saying to me? Cal looks around the group, his eyes picking out the crew. Every last one of us nod in confirmation to his silent request. We're up to the task. We'll get it done. Kadar gives him a nod, having understood what just transpired between us all. Last we heard, they returned to Goldus after your attack on Orion. I expect they'll stay there until Zovak sends them out again. Goldus it is then. It's been a long time. Probably just like a few months. Probably hasn't been that long. Oh, wait, you live there too. My bad. My bad, you right. You right, my bad. I said I literally was there 6 months ago. What do you mean it's been a long time? It's been like 6 months. I guess that's kind of long. It's not like super long. Whatever. Sorry. Aya puts a hand on Cauldron's arm in comfort, and I know that they both understand what it means to return to Goldus. I don't. Am I supposed to get that? Because I don't. As for myself, I haven't been back there since the attack on the palace. I'll have to do what I have to do. Ren needs to be taken care of, for the sake of all the system. If this is the task that's set for us, I'll do what I have to. Afterwards, I can decide whether my place is still in Goldus or somewhere else entirely. Nursa, you need to be the one to confront Zovak. People need to see you. Kay can come with me. We'll do it together. Why are you signing me up? I don't want to be here. Like, peace and love, girl. Number one, I already have my suspicions about what you'll be like as a leader. Like, the fact that you're not willing to sit and listen to people when they're coming up to you with their problems. Like, I genuinely think Cursa would probably be, I think most of they're planets. It's planets in a solar system. Like, it's like, I don't think they would be able to run themselves well. I'm like, well, apparently you can't fucking run it because it runs like ass. Everyone's in poverty and stealing. So, honestly, they're at rock bottom. I'm certain there's not any place to go other than up. At rock bottom, the people on the planet have worked together to get them standing on their feet of some semblance. Like, to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, like, I trust them more than I trust you. Like, hoity-toity spoiled rich kid versus people who have sat and worked and, cried and done a bunch of other shit their whole life. Like, don't play that game with me. No, I'm going with the crew. Nursa falters at my declaration, and I can see on her face that she wasn't expecting me to refuse. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I glance at the crew of Andromeda Six, the people who have become my closest friends, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that this mission is one we must do together. Because also, girl, she's really trying to set me up to be like the next in line for the throne. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, period. Not me, girl. I don't want to do that. I don't know why you're asking me to do that. What would they do without their navigator? Damon winks at me in approval, a gesture that my sister doesn't miss. Yeah, it's my boyfriend. You have a problem? I try to ignore Narissa's pout, and the decision is my own, whether she likes it or not, and she'll have to accept that. Eldridge and the Talari will continue to provide shelter and aid to those who need it. Just pause, put a pin in this. Also to be a bitch, just to be a bitch, because I'm gonna be a bitch for a minute. She can't sit here and pout and cry and whine that we're not part of the plan when she didn't involve us in it in the first place, because she didn't want us to get, like, be in danger. And then we ended up with somebody else because she didn't include us in the plan, and now she's all mopey about it. Cry, bitch. You abandoned me in the first place. You're lucky that I just coinkadinkly avoided that ball, because if I went to that dance for some fuck-ass reason, I would have died. That's the truth. Her actions, without us being, like, the kind of main character who's like, fuck your rules. All the time. If we weren't the type of main character that was like, fuck you, fuck your rules, you're a nerd, we would have died. Probably. It's no guarantee, but I'm pretty sure we would have died. We'll need a few days to get everything in order. Sorry. I suggest between planning, you all get some rest. And prepare yourselves. None of this will be easy, but we must win. Whatever the cost. Whatever the cost is crazy. The crew is quiet as we leave the meeting. As each of them goes their own separate way, I hang around the hangar a little longer. While I'm eager to speak to the crew, it's a lot of information we just took in, and I can't blame them for needing some time to process it. Heading up to the elevators, I take a moment to lean against the railing of the platform and look over the tents, the soldiers, the equipment. This cause means as much to these rebel soldiers as any of us. This is the chance for them to take down a king who rules through terror and live a life of safety and peace. I want to help them do that. In fact, I would say that I need to. Nope. Oppo, you scared the shit out of me.
Oppo has never seen so many different people come together before.
I turn at the sound of the Arkness approaching, smiling as they join me against the railing.
And now the androgynous crew is here too. Oppo is happy.
Yeah? Even though Elisa forced you to come here? Oppo smiles sheepishly, their forked tongues slipping between their teeth and hissing softly.
Truth is, Oppo could have never stayed behind and let their friends fight alone. Stronger together, that's what Oppo thinks anyway.
You're right, Oppo. We are stronger together. I'm glad you're here. I think back to the argument between Narissa and the Cursons. How the tension had come to a breaking point. It's clear that while not everyone is going to get along, we need each other if we're going to get through this. How are things with the Ark? I overheard you worrying about it during Elisa's call with Cauldron and Aya. Oppo's face drops, their shoulders drooping as their head turns away. It's clear that they're homesick.
Oppo's friend is taking care of things.
Very nice.
A very nice Arkness Oppo has known since they were young. But Oppo misses their home.
I hope I can get this all over with so you can go home quickly. Maybe I'll come visit you?
Oppo would like that very much. And Oppo will visit Kay at their home.
Pass. I'm good. Nah, not a fan.
Oh. Where will that be?
I'm pretty confident. Let's just say I don't know yet. Because my answer is pretty confident. I didn't want this character to be royalty. I only did it because I was like, damn. Narissa's dead. But she's not dead. And now I'm like, I would probably pick the 8-6 crew. Oh shit, I meant to say, I don't know. I don't know yet, but I'm looking forward to finding out. I've never had anywhere I truly felt like home, but I'm excited at the prospect of making my... No, I've stuck with 8-6 crew the whole time. Let's do that. I hope to stay with the crew. They feel like home to me. I think of the crew, the friends I've grown so close to. Wherever they are, that will be my home.
Wherever Kay makes their home, Oppo will be happy to visit. Thank you, Oppo. I'm looking forward to it. The Arcnos gives me a final nod before heading off, hopefully to find Bash and get started on reaching out to their contacts. I'm glad the two of them will have something to keep them busy while we're here. Deciding to also move on, I take the elevator up to the main lobby of the Spire, and the lake that extends throughout the level, hoping it might be a calm place to collect my thoughts. Hopefully my boyfriend is there. What? Not playing. Oh, Silver? Silver hair? Oh, Rihanna. I was like, who we're talking about right now? Okay. As I exit the elevator, I notice a familiar figure standing at the water's edge, her silver hair cascading down her back as she stares out across the lake. Rihanna? Oh. Excuse me, Kay. I was lost in thought. That's okay. If you'd rather be on your own, I can leave. No, you're not disturbing me. I'm glad you're here. I step up next to her as she stares wistfully at the lake, the two of us admiring it side by side. It must bring back a lot of memories being here. Rihanna's face falls. I'd meant the comment to be a positive one, but by her reaction, I'd say she's thinking quite the opposite. I have many fond memories growing up here. Swimming in the lakes and waterfalls with my sisters, going to school. But mostly, I'm just reminded of my final days, the ones that were less than happy. She sighs deeply, hesitating, and I give her a moment to quietly collect her thoughts. I left Jalaran because I wanted to help the people of Selatoa, while my father was content to hide here and do nothing. He told me that other planets were responsible for cleaning up after themselves. I disagreed. Too many innocent people were suffering because of the messes that those more powerful than them had created. My mother and sisters were happy to follow his lead and ignore the world outside our planet. I couldn't sit back and watch. I refused. She stops suddenly, and when I look at her, I see the shimmer of sparkling tears building in her bright eyes. That's why I joined the Archangels, but leaving this place, my family, and my home, it was a hard thing to do. Do you wish you had stayed? She tilts her head to one side, considering the question thoughtfully. No, I don't think so. I don't regret leaving. The only thing I regret is how it all happened. You make it sound as though you escaped this planet in the middle of the night. In truth, I did. I told you all my friend was leaving to join Mila on the terrarium and meet up with the Archangels. I decided to tag along, and together we took a vessel and left. Dang, she's crazy. She closes her eyes tight, as though the memories of that time are too painful to bear. I decided it might be best to change the subject. Things with the Archangels ended in tragedy. I don't want to force her to relive it. Eldred seems to have changed his mind about helping the system now. Yes, I'm glad for it, but I don't understand why he's suddenly deciding to help. He seems to have struck some kind of deal with your sister. Perhaps that was his motivation. You could ask him. I don't know. I'm not sure that I'm ready. It's your decision. You should do what you think is right. This decision is yours alone. Thank you, Kay. I'm glad you understand. Family isn't always easy. I take in a deep breath, thinking back to my conversation with Narissa earlier. You can say that again. Speaking of, are your mothers and your sisters here in the Spire? From what I heard, they're across the planet, at the university. My mother gives medical lectures there often, and I've been told by my older sister, Nastasia? I've been told my older sister, Nastasia, has recently finished her studies. And your other sister? I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, you think you're funny. Yeah, you think you're funny. I don't know how to say that. Hey, I don't know how to say that. I'm looking it up, though. About to pull out my internet search. Pronunciation. Bro. I'm feeling eepy. Eth? No? Ethne? Ethne. She's what you call a bit of... She's what you would call a bit wild. Rihanna chuckles to herself quietly, distant memories gleaming in her eyes. I expected she was looking for a change of scenery, somewhere new where she could shake things up. She sounds fun. She is, very much so. Though I have to admit that I'm relieved. Facing my father is one thing, but having to face my entire family? She shakes her head gently, as though envisioning that very meeting in her mind. In this case, I think small steps would be best. I need to take some time to process this before I speak to him. Nodding my head, I glance around at the lake once more, admiring how the sunlight shines on the surface. That's understandable. Truthfully, I just wanted to check in on you and see how you're feeling after the meeting. It was a lot to take in, for all of us, I'm sure. But I'm glad something has been done, that people are willing to fight for the life they deserve. Riona hesitates, and I get the impression she's having a hard time meeting my eyes, though I can't tell why. Though I have to admit, I'm afraid. Afraid of what? Oh, music stopped. I'm afraid of myself, of what I might do if it comes to a battle, and I have to protect the people I love. Since you're a part of the crew, you should know what I've done. I stare at Riona, confusion clouding my mind. What does she mean by what she's done? I'm listening. I told you how the Macquarie slaughtered the Archangels and how I eventually found refuge at the Ark, where Bash found me. But I haven't told you everything. She looks away, something crossing her face that looks a lot like shame. Damn, we're feeling shame right now. The truth is, after the initial shock of watching my friends die had worn off, something came over me, a darkness that I can hardly explain. I tracked down those Macquarie. No, hunted might be a better word for what I did. A group of them were staying at a local bunkhouse, 15 altogether. They'd been out drinking, celebrating their victory of the murder of the Archangels. Riona hiccups quietly, tears dancing in the corner of her eyes before they begin to fall, streaming over luminescent skin. I took one of their guns while they were all either passed out or sleeping, and I shot every single one of them. Most of them didn't even wake, but others, when they woke, terrified and confused, I took pleasure in shooting them again. I feel the horror growing inside me, though I hope for Riona's sake it doesn't show on my face. When they were all dead, I stumbled out of there numb, losing myself in the crowds of the terrarium. I didn't stop walking until I ended up in front of the Ark, and something deep inside me knew that that's where I was supposed to be. She takes a breath to calm herself, though I see that by the way that her hands shake. Damn, can you not stop? Jesus. By the way her hand shakes as she relives the horrific moments from her past. Bash found me soon after, covered in blood. It took a while for him to get the truth out of me, and once he didn't hesitate to help. So he introduced me to Cauldron, who brought me onto the crew as a medic, and that's where I've been ever since. She looks away, wringing her long fingers together, while glistening tears still linger on her cheeks. 15. I still see their faces, each and every one, standing right here, right now. Damn. I'm glad Bash found you. I'm glad to hear that Bash was the one who found you. Who knows what might have happened if he hadn't. Riona smiles slightly, and after the tears, it's a refreshing sight. I'd hate to think of it, but I'm glad he found me too. He's been a loyal friend to me since that day. I have much to thank him for. I don't remember if she ever said anything about not liking him, so why not? Forgive me for crossing the line, but have you ever thought of him as more than a friend? Because I'm pretty sure he has a fairly heavy crush on you. Oh, yeah, okay, well, I didn't mean to do all that, but... Oh my god. Boys go crazy! Riona's cheeks flushed with color, a small sound escaping her. I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. But I suppose... She stops herself abruptly, her eyes going wide. Never mind. By the way she drops her gaze, I can tell that she's embarrassed, so I decided to drop the subject. For now. I have to ask. There are members of the crew who have killed and who have had no issue with it. Does it not bother you to be around that? No, it's not all as simple as that.
She swallows, turning away towards the lake, and though the water might give her strength.
I regret killing those Makuri soldiers, but it's not the part that bothers me the most. What bothers me the most is how much I enjoyed it. How sickeningly happy I was knowing those soldiers were dead, despite knowing it will never bring my friends or Mila back. And this anger, it's like an infection slowly spreading through me. I've tried to keep it hidden. All these months I've dedicated myself to healing and helping others, but I still feel it. Deep down I'm so angry, and I'm so afraid of myself. It's against the Talari's nature to hurt others, and yet I killed those soldiers without a thought. I've disgraced myself, and I'm scared that I might do it again. Ruina breaks down, the tears streaming once more, falling from the tips of her nose and disappearing into the lake. I give her some space, hoping she knows that she can safely let all her emotions out without judgment. I can't tell you what will or won't happen in the future, but I know you, Riona. The soldiers who killed the archangels were bad people. Think about how many more they might have hurt if you hadn't put a stop to it. You have a heart bigger than anyone I've ever met. I think that somehow you need to find a way to forgive yourself. I can't.
Hey girl, we're having a mo right now. Hey.
I was just talking to Kadar, isn't he great?
Ayame skips to us happily, and I realized with a start that I must have been so engrossed in my conversation with Riona that I hadn't even heard her approach. I can't believe all the amazing work they've been doing with the Catalfins. I had no idea. Riona clears her throat quietly.
Will you excuse me?
Yeah, of course. As Riona leaves, Aya's face falls, suddenly realizing the extent of her intrusion.
Ah, shit, I interrupted something, didn't I? Me and my big mouth.
That's okay. Riona's just dealing with some stuff. Being back on Talaran and all. Aya slaps her hand to her forehead, squeezing her eyes shut and groaning out loud.
Of course she is. I should have thought of that.
I'm sorry, Kay. I'll try to talk to her later. I might be able to find a way to cheer her up. I'm sure she'd appreciate that. Knowing that Aya is no doubt beating herself up for the interruption, I raised an eyebrow in her direction. Kadar, huh? So, Kadar, huh? Sounds like someone has a crush. Oh, are you blushing?
What? No.
Aya stutters quickly, her face flushed with color.
I just think he's cool, that's all.
I smirk at her. I saw the way she looked at Kadar during the meeting. I don't buy that for a second. Sure you do.
That's not fair. You have no right to tease me. Not when you're the one making goo-goo eyes at Damon all day long.
I choke on my own laughter, earning a triumphant look from Aya. Alright, fine, you got me there. We laughed together quietly, unlike our previous conversation on the ship when Aya was so upset. I didn't know what to do. She seems to be in much higher spirits. It seems like you're feeling better. I think I am, a bit. Hearing about Kadar's work is exciting. She gives a big smile, and it helps to relieve some of the worry that I've been carrying for her. There are people out there fighting to find a new home for Catalfins. I hope I can help, even if it's in some small way. I want to be able to make a difference in their lives. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will, Aya. I've seen the kinds of things you can do when you put your mind to it. They'll be lucky to have you on their side. Aya beams at me, and I can see how much she appreciates my vote of confidence. I'm gonna talk to Kadar some more while we're here. Hopefully they'll have some ideas about how I can help. That sounds like a good plan to me. I can't wait to see what you come up with. All of a sudden, she sighs, shoulders slumping in unison. It probably seems silly to think about it now. What with everything else we're going through? I don't think it's silly. We'll have to think about the future at some point. Yeah, I guess you're right. I know we'll never replace Catalfa, but maybe we could find somewhere else to call home, somewhere nice. And preferably on a beach. Let me scoot one forward. Hey! I thought the ship was your home. Isn't the ship your home? I thought you'd want to stay here with us. Well, I suppose it is in a way, but as much as I might want to, it's not going to last forever. That's true. I want somewhere where I can settle down one day. I'm tired of all these adventures. Somewhere where I feel like I belong, and I'm not just a refugee fighting for a measly corner to sleep on.
Aya sighs, her gaze dropping to the ground in front of her feet. You know, if I had one wish, it would be for Catalfa to be alive and well. But since that'll never happen, I'll settle for hoping that Catalfans can find somewhere new to call home. Whatever that might be. That's a good dream, Aya. If there's anything I can do to help, all you have to do is ask. Thanks, Kay. I knew I could count on you.
Thanks, girl. Bye. Slay. Slay.
With a final excited giggle, Ayame leaves, and I find myself smiling after her. Things have been rough for her since Orion, but it seems that now she's finally starting to find some positivity in her thoughts of the future. With a small sigh, I look out over the lake, deciding what to do next.
Give me the option.
Where do you think my husband is? Wait, what time is it? Oh. Well, we'll see if we can find my husband later.
Well, put in the saving, boys. Hey!
Kick names, take ass.
Take ass. What does that mean?
Oh god, that was really violent. Drink the ooze. I told you I don't want to join your super secret boy band. You shouldn't have killed my mom. She squished my something. You can do it. You can do anything. You're the world's.
I like it, Picasso. They name things for like me, for real. That's literally exactly what I did.
Okay. Anyways, so we will get into whatever these options are next time. So hopefully we can find my husband. Guys, I feel like we should find Damon again. No particular reason. I just want to hang out with Damon. I just think that man is so fine. I just want to bask in his glory. I just want to stand. I want to make a little pocket in his skin and just live there. Let me in your skin. Anyways, so that's all for today. I hope you had so much fun. Maybe as much fun as I've had. Maybe even more. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.